Right. So, Vanessa, let me just start the corrections one time, right? Let me just start the corrections one time. All right. Don't know why so much stuff opened. All right. Okay. All right. So, Vanessa, starting off real simple here.
Yeah.
So, in question one, they're giving us a function, right? And the function is f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. And they're asking us to find the value of f of 4, right? So, Keshava, you never saw a function before. But I want you to think of a function as a machine. You would take something in, you would do something with it, and you would get an output. So, Vanessa, let's answer question one real quick. All right, so Vanessa, this function is telling us to multiply x by what? Tell me, Vanessa, if we look at this function, it's telling us to multiply x by what? Vanessa,
Yeah. You hear me?
I'm hearing you now. So we have a function f of x, right? And f of x is doing what with x? What is it doing with x? We're
Um,
seeing 2x. What does 2x mean?
to multiply by a number.
Right. So this function is multiplying x by 2 and then taking away 5 from that number. So if we want to find for f of 4, all that means is wherever you see x, you're going to replace it with 4. So I'm going to write 2 by 4. So I replaced x with 4, right? Minus 5. What's 2 by 4, Vanessa?
Eat.
Right? So 8 minus 5. What's 8 minus 5? 3, right? Keisha, was there anything I did there that you didn't understand?
So I understand.
You understand? All right. Help me with part B then. And Vanessa, you tell him if he's correct, right? You can tell him if he's correct. All right. So Keisha, in this round, what do we have inside of the brackets? What do we have inside of the brackets?
-2.
-2. So anywhere you see x over here, what are you going to write instead?
-2.
Simple, -2. So I'm going to write f of minus 2, and I'm going to write 2, and in brackets, I'm going to put minus 2 minus 5. Do you know what 2 multiplied by minus 2 is?
-4.
-4 minus 5. What's -4, -5?
The -1.
Nah.
Oh
Keisha,
no, 1.
nah. Anytime I see negative numbers, I want always to think about it like debt. Keisha, imagine you borrow $4 from a friend, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you borrow $5 again from a friend. How much money you owe your friend?
4 and 5, 9, sir.
Yeah, 9. So the answer is -9. I just
Okay,
want
sir.
I want you to think of negatives as taken. If you take 4 and you take 5 again, how much you take altogether?
So 9.
Exactly, so -9. Right? Vanessa, what is -1 minus 3? Tell me fast, Vanessa.
Um, -2. Wait, no. -4.
-4, right? Vanessa, here I was saying, if you take 1, if you take away 1, and you take away 3, how much you take away altogether? So Vanessa, if you take away 1 and then you take away 3 again, how much you take away?
4.
Exactly. So -1, -3 is -4 because it come like you take away 4, right? Right. Keshava, one more. What's -7, -2?
So -9.
Yeah. So you get it by now, right? It's simple. It's only looking hard, but it's simple. Right. Now, Sheena, are you there? Sheena.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sheena. So in part C, they're asking us to solve f of x is equal to 9. So Sheena, in part C, they're telling us what is equal to 9. What is equal to 9 over here?
That 2x minus 5 is equal to 9.
Right. So guys, if anybody is confused, they are saying that f of x is equal to 2x minus 5 here, that's the function. And over here, they're saying f of x is equal to 9. So I have a question for you guys. If f of x, Perseus, I hope I'm saying your name correct. I pray to God I'm saying your name correct this time. Perseus, is that close enough? I saw you unmute and you was talking for a second back here again. Okay, I'm not hearing you. Right, so Shana, if we have f of x is equal to 2x minus 5, and they are also telling us that f of x is equal to 9, then anywhere I see f of x, I could write what instead, Shana?
2x minus 5.
Wait, so we know that f of x is equal to this, and we know that f of x is also equal to this. So instead of writing f of x here, what could I write? You think you know?
9.
9. Keshava, if you're confused by that, Tama.
No, sir.
No, okay. Perseus, Jashon, Jeremiah. I hope nobody confused, right? So because f of x is 9, I could write 9 instead of f of x because we know they're equal, right? I didn't do any crazy things. So I'm going to write 9 is equal to 2x minus 5. Now, Vanessa, this might look a little weird, right? Because ain't you accustomed seeing the unknown on the left-hand side? Yeah? Some of Vanessa, ain't you accustomed seeing the unknown on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we could do is we could do a switcheroo, right? So we could take everything that was on the right-hand side and move it to the left-hand side and vice versa. So if I do that, I'll end up with 2x minus 5 is equal to 9. Did I do anything that was crazy over there, or you're still with me?
I'm still with you.
Right. Now I want to find for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move across at negative 5, yeah?
Yeah.
If I move across at negative 5, it's going to turn to 2x is equal to 9. 9 what?
Plus 5.
What's 9 plus 5?
14.
Right? And I want to find for 1x. If
Divide.
Right, I would divide because I have 2 multiplied by x. If I move it across, I will turn to divide. Another way to think about it is divide by 2 on both sides, so you could find for 1x. Right? The 2 and the 2 would cancel off. So x is just equal to what?
7.
Correct. And Vanessa, how would you check if your answer is correct? Do you know? Let me see if I actually understand functions. If any of you guys could figure out how to prove if our answer is correct, big up on yourself. I've given only 1 minute to figure that out. Take 1 minute to figure that out. 3 minutes is too much. Right, how could I prove if x is equal to 7 is correct? Anybody in class? Let me see what they can figure that out. Anybody? Anybody at all? Ivan, do you know how to prove if our answer is correct for C?
Huh?
Do you know how to prove if our answer is correct for C?
Let's see. No, not really, sir.
Okay. Sheena, do you have any ideas? Okay, I'm not seeing Sheena. Vanessa, do you have any ideas?
I was thinking to plug it back in, but I don't think that would.
Why do you think that will be wrong? Because for me, that sounds like it making sense. That's something like it making perfect sense. So, Vanessa, the question asks us to figure out what x would be if f of x is 9. That's essentially what the question asked us. Right? So if you know this entire thing is 9, what value of x would you have to plug in to get 9? So Vanessa, let's see if we plug 7 back into the function if we'll get 9. Let's see. So this is the proof here. So proof. Right? So Vanessa, when I plug x is 7 into the function, what am I supposed to get if we're correct?
It is a drop out the meeting, but I saw it wasn't convenient timing when you call on me because I hear you calling me. Um, yeah.
The internet giving real trouble.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear the start of the meeting, it was in and out.
Yeah.
But I heard you call on me.
Yeah, so we got the answer to be x is equal to 7 for part C, right? And I wanted,
Mhm.
how would I prove if my answer is correct? That was the question. How would I prove if my answer is correct?
You could plug back in, like you could put back in 7 where you see x in the initial equation.
Function, and what's supposed to get?
Function. Well, 2 times 7 minus 5. So 14 minus 5, which is 7.
Nah, 14 minus 5 is not 7.
Oh crap!
Catch your luck in there. 14 minus
9.
9.
9. The initial thing, right?
They wanted us to solve f of x equal to 9. So our answer is correct. Why is our answer correct? Our answer is correct is because when x is equal to 7, you get 9. If you plug 7 into the function and get a 9, which is what they wanted you to figure out, solve for f of x is 9. What value for x would give you 9? Vanessa, you understand?
Yeah.
Is there anybody that don't understand? Like Yvonne. I feel like you're still iffy about it. Yeah?
No, understand, no.
All right, so Yvonne, if I had get a value for x and I plug it into the function and didn't get 9, would that be correct?
No.
Nah, because and they wanted us to solve when the function is equal to 9.
Yeah.
They wanted us to figure out we had a plug in to get 9. Nice. So that's it for part 1. Let's move on to the other part. I say, Yvonne, what's some help here? Give me some assistance.
Okay.
All right, so we have a function g of x, right? All right. By the way, Yvonne, did you do the homework? I didn't get anything from you.
Yeah.
You did do the homework?
Yeah.
Why didn't I get anything then? It's a
I
question.
didn't I didn't know I was supposed to send it.
Okay, well, I seen it. I seen it in big here. Like, until you know that Tanty Margaret, Princess Margaret. Until you know,
Yeah.
I seen it in big like Princess Margaret. If I do the homework, send me it. Send me the homework. It
Alright.
don't have no point in doing the homework and just put it down in the book for nothing. Send it to me. I'll correct it. I'll let you know if you're going good or not. So, Yvonne, the function here is g of x. G of x is 3x squared minus 1. The first thing they want us to find is g of 0. So, anywhere I see x, I'm going to write what instead?
0.
Right, so I'm going to write g of 0 is equal to 3, open bracket, 0, close bracket, squared, minus 1. What's 0 squared? What's 0 by 0?
0.
What's 3 by 0?
0.
What's 0 minus 1?
0 minus 1 is minus 1.
Bam. That's it. That's it literally. It's not that deep. Right? Part B. Instead of x, what are we going to write for part
2.
2? So I'm going to write 3, 2 squared minus 1. So first things first, what is 2 squared?
4.
Right? 3 by 4 is
3 by 4 is 12.
12 minus 1 is
11.
right. Okay, Shava, this stuff is like voodoo or like it's easy to follow.
So easy to follow.
I like to hear that. All right. So Yvonne, let's continue. We have C to do now. Let me see if you can figure out how to do C. So Yvonne, they want us to figure out what g of minus 1 plus g of 1 would be. Do you have any idea how you would work that question out?
No, sir, this is one of the questions I did leave out.
Okay. Well, ready to see how easy it is?
Yeah.
All right, nice. All right, as soon as you're seeing back the screen, I can tell, all right? Let me know if you're seeing the screen.
Yes, I seen it now.
Right. So, Yvonne, can we agree that this question has two parts?
Yeah.
We have so many two parts you're seeing. So many first one you're seeing, first part.
G open brackets minus 1 close bracket.
That's the first part. Is that something we could solve independently?
Yeah.
We could. So I'm going to write g of minus 1, and anywhere I see x, I'm going to write minus 1. So I'm going to write 3 open bracket minus 1 squared minus 1. I confused it there.
Nah.
Okay. What is minus 1 squared?
Minus 2.
No. I catch you lacking there, but all right, Yvonne. If I have squared, right, that means I'm multiplying something by itself. So minus 1 squared is minus 1 by minus 1. First things
Yeah.
first, where's a negative and a negative?
Positive.
And where's 1 by 1?
2. I mean 1.
Whoa.
1.
Oh, right. So 3 by 1 minus 1. What's 3 by 1? Those
3
are
minus
square.
3.
Oh,
3.
oh. Right. 3. What's 3 minus 1?
2.
Nice. So, okay, we work out this part. Yay. Right, we halfway there. Now we had to find for g of 1. Keshav, I'm gonna ask you for help here. So anywhere I see x, I'm going to write what instead? Anywhere I see x.
-1.
Nah, this is g of 1.
Oh,
So I'm going to write,
so 1.
right?
So 1.
Right, so 3 open bracket 1 close bracket squared minus 1. If you're confused, that is the original function, was 3x squared minus 1. I just following that.
Yes, sir.
Where's 1 squared?
1.
Right? So we end up with 3 by 1, which is 3. Where's 3 minus 1?
2.
Right. Perseus, big up yourself. You had got these questions correct. Big up you. Right? All right. So, cool. So Yvonne, let me finish up this thing, right? So Yvonne, if
Yeah.
I ask you what g of minus 1 is, what would you tell me? What's g of minus 1?
G of minus 1 is 2.
Right? So we have g of minus 1 plus g of 1. Right, so g of minus 1 is 2, and g of 1 is?
2.
Right, so it's 2 plus 2.
4.
Nice. In your opinion, how was that?
Normal. Once you just solve it part by part, I get easy.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's that for question 2. Let's move on to question 3. I want somebody else. Perseus, you able to talk?
I think so.
Okay, nice. I hear in here. That's good. That's good. So I remember you was telling me that you was having a hard time understanding this. Yeah, remember?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So like I said, a function is like a machine. You put something in, you do something with it, and you get something out. So Perseus, if you put something in, you're gonna do what with it? What are you gonna do with it?
You'll add it to it.
Say that again.
Add it.
You're gonna add what to it?
Add the tree.
Right? It says add 3, and whatever you get, you're gonna do what with it next?
Double it.
Right, that's it. That's it, right, Perseus? So before we write our function, let me just look at some test cases, right? So Perseus, give me a number, give me an input. And the input, just reiterate something. The input, aka the domain, is a set of x values, and the output is a y value, and that is referred to as the range or the codomain. And this thing in the middle here, that's a function, right? That's f of x. Right? So Perseus, let's look at some examples or test cases. So give me a number. I want you to give me a number.
6.
6. All right. So if we listen into the function, so we have an input, the input is equal to 6, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
According to the function, what we should do next with 6? Tell me, Perseus, according to the instructions here, what am I going to do next with 6?
I'm going to add the 3, then double it, and then you'll find the output.
Right, so I'm going to add 3 to 6. So that's going to be 3. Oh, I'm going to say 6 plus 3. Okay, so I added 3 to it. And then I'm going to double it. So what does double mean?
Like multiply
Multiply by what?
the 2, 3, the 6 by the
Right, so double means to multiply everything by 2. So if we do this, we should get our output. So 6 plus 3 is what?
6 plus 3 is 9.
And 9 by 2 is?
9 by 2 is 18.
Right. So our output is 18. Let's look at what we did. We treated it, and then we doubled it. So we multiply everything by 2. Serena, are you confused by this?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Jashon, let me know if you're confused by this. Can I hear in Jashon? Jeremiah, you go drop in the chat if you're confused by this. Keshava, are you confused by this?
No, sir.
All right. So Keshava, let's look at another input, right? Give my input.
Sir, 9.
9. Okay, so the function is saying to add 3, then double it. So I want you to add 3 to 9. All right, so we're going to say 9 plus 3, and whatever we get for that number, we're going to do what with it?
So double it, multiply by 2.
Right, so 9 plus 3 is
12,
12 by 2 is?
24.
Right. So here what? Keshava, and you can see that we can plug in any number we want.
Yes, sir.
Perseus, and you seeing we can plug any number we want, any number at all.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna call that x. X could be any number. So essentially, what I'm doing, right? So I'm going to answer the question here. Essentially, the function f of x, it is telling us that you would add 3 to a number. We're gonna call the number x. So it's the same thing I'm doing here, right? I'm going to say x plus 3, and then I'm going to multiply this thing by 2. That's all. Did I confuse anybody at all by doing that? If you did get confused, tell me. Yvonne, are you confused?
No, sir.
Yeah or no?
No.
No? All right, Shina, tell me, are you confused?
No, sir.
All right, but we could go one step further. So Shina, notice I have x plus 3 in brackets, and I'm multiplying everything by 2. If you wanted, you could have expanded and multiply all the elements on the inside by 2. So Shina, what's 2 by x?
2x,
How about 2 by 3?
6.
Right. So you'll end up with 2x plus 6. Let me know if that's confusing.
No, sir.
All right. So Shina, let's test this now. Remember at the start, we said that if you put in 6, you should get 18.
Yes, sir.
Let me see if that's the case. So if I use my function here and I put 6 into it, right, that's going to be 2 open bracket 6 plus 6. What is 2 by 6?
12,
What's 12 plus 6?
18.
Does it work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. Nice. Vanessa, let's try the other case, right? The other one I said was an input of 9. So if I put 9 into the function and I'm correct, what am I supposed to get? Vanessa, if you're there, tell me. If I put 9 into the function, what am I supposed to get?
2 of 2 open bracket 9 plus 6.
Okay, well, the answer is on the screen. The answer is on the screen. We looked at it at the start. It was one of the test cases. We know
Oh,
what the answer is supposed to be.
sorry, I wasn't by my computer for a minute, so I just came back.
You tell me the correct thing, it's just that the answer on the screen, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm correct, when I put 9 in, I'm supposed to get 24. So 2 by 9 plus 6. Yeah?
Mhm.
All right. Keshava, what's 2 by 9?
18,
All right. What is 18 plus 6?
24.
All right. So, guys, could everybody agree that the function we came up with works? Do we all agree that it works?
Yes, sir.
Are they leaving me hanging like cliffhanger?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if all you
Yes, sir.
know who cliffhanger is, or like I'm too old for this.
Option B.
Let me show you who cliffhanger is, right? Let me show you who cliffhanger is. Well, go show the parents. They would definitely know who I'm talking about. Any of you ever watched Between the Lions? It's a real old show. So anytime I say, oh, you're leaving my hanging like cliffhanger, this is literally what I mean. If I can get a picture. That's something else. All right, cool. Let's move on to B. All right. So, Serena, I'm requesting your help. Let me just raise the volume real quick because I just struggle to hear what you're saying. Yes, Serena, try talking there.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Could you hear me?
Barely, but I can hear you. I can hear you. Right?
Okay.
So, part B, they want us to find the output when the input is -4. So, Serena, basically, if you're putting -4, where's the output? Do we have a function we could plug -4 into?
Yes.
Yes. What's the function we could put -4 into?
It would be fx is 2x plus 6.
Right? So, if we wanted to find for -4, so that would be f of -4 equal to what?
2 open brackets minus 4 close brackets plus 6
Nice. What's 2 by -4?
minus 8
Right? Plus 6. What's -8 plus 6?
minus 2.
-2. So, Keshava, these negative numbers, I think just throw you off, and
Sir, sometimes, but not sometimes.
sometimes, but not sometimes. I like that. I want to start using that. Sometimes, but not sometimes. Do you know why this is -2?
Sir, cause -8 add 6.
Don't tell me,
Yeah,
because
sir. So you're moving to the right side, so you're going up. So it'll be -2.
yeah, imagine if you had a number line. If you're adding 6, you'd move 6 spaces to the right. So eventually you'd end up at -2. That's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it, right, Keshava, if you took $8 from a friend, right? You took $8 from a friend and you owe your friend $8.
Yes, sir.
If you pay him $6, how much you owe him still?
$2.
Right. Think about it like that as well. So I'm gonna trust that everybody is okay with what I have there. are going to trust? Can I trust?
Trust.
Okay, word, I like that. A little unsure, but I will take it. Perseus, is there anything I did that is confusing you? Anything I doing confusing you?
No, so I completely understand.
Okay, good. Anybody relate to this? Or the homework was too easy?
You homework was good. It wasn't bad.
Okay, good. All right, section 2. Let's answer this quickly. If you have a Casio, the Casio actually makes a table for you, believe it or not. Yeah, would you all like me to show you how to use the Casio to generate the answer for you? And the whole answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. By the way, guys, I highly recommend getting a Casio. If you don't have a Casio, what you doing with your life? Get a Casio.
So
Get-
Casio can be expensive now.
Hear what? If all you need extra money to buy the Casio, if I see you, I'll give away the difference. I'm being real.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. So it might be a little different depending on what kind of Casio you have. How much people in class have this exact model? Let me know. Nobody have that calculator in class?
So I can't remember, but I think I have it. I just can't remember.
You're looking for FX 570 or 991. Or is it that you all have this?
That's Simonzu.
Say that again, Joshua?
This I have that Simonzu.
Okay, nice. Who has the one I just sent? Let me know. Who has that one? Does anybody have that one? I take it as I know, right? Now, hear what? If you have a Casio like this, you're going to press menu, right? And you're going to scroll down until you see table. You're going to press 9 to get table. It's then going to ask you to put in the function. Now, in a Casio, if you want to get X, you have to press alpha, close bracket. You should get the X. Then you're going to press the squared button to get X squared, right? Then minus 3. You're going to press alpha, close bracket to get the X, plus 1. You're going to press equal. Dash on again. Josh on, you're unmuted. Yeah. They're going to ask you for G of X, but don't worry about that. Just press equal again. They're going to ask you where you want to start, right? If you look, Sheena, if you look at the table, what's the smallest value for X here? Tell me, Sheena, what's the smallest value of X? Can I hear it, Sheena? Vanessa, what's the smallest value of X in the table?
-1.
The -2.
Huh.
-2 is the smallest value of X, right? So I could start at -2, and it's going to ask me where to end. The biggest value for X here is 2, so I'm going to write end at 2. And the step is just, okay, if you say -2 to 2, it's going to iterate by +1. So you start at -2, then you would go to -1, then you would go to 0, and you would go to 1, and you would go to 2. So that's what this step means. You have an incremental one. Then you're going to press equal, and bam, you get your answer one time. Right? It's very convenient. So if you did the homework, when you put -2, right, into the function, you're supposed to get 11. When you put -1, you're supposed to get 5. When you put 0 in, you're supposed to get 1. When you put 1 into the function, you're supposed to get -1. And when you put 2 in, you're supposed to get -1 again. Right. Just indicate who else has a Casio calculator. Let me know, guys. Who else has a Casio calculator? All you had to switch sides. Shina, you have a Casio calculator, and
Yes.
which one you have? The one I have on the screen or the one I sent on the chat?
Do you want to have on the screen?
Okay. Are you able to get the table like that?
I disconnected when you started, but I'll rewatch the video later and go through it.
All right. And if you want to know, just message me after class. Hey, well, I will send a video after class, right? Just going over the methods. But you don't even have to do this, right? You don't even have to do this. You can just plug it in the normal way and you'll get your answer. Right? So, Keshava, I want you to pick a value for x. Pick one. Pick any one.
Say 2.
2. You're staying away from the negativity, boy. You see them negative numbers and they say, nah. Bun that. So we do a negative number after 2, right? So if we are plugging in 2 into the function, that's going to be f of 2 equal, I'm going to put 2 in brackets because it's replacing x. I'm going to put squared minus 3 open bracket 2 plus 1. Keshav, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confused are you? If confused at all.
So not confused.
Well, that's great. That's great news. What's 2 squared?
4.
What is minus 3 by 2?
So I can multiply it first.
I mean, it is multiplication. It is multiplication. So you have negative 3 here by positive 2. It's negative 3 by positive 2.
Negative 1.
No.
Or
Where's our negative or positive number?
a negative.
Right? So cool. Negative by a positive is a negative. And what's 3 by 2?
6.
Right, so the answer is negative 6. Let me run that back one more time. We have negative 3 multiplied by positive 2. So you're going to multiply the negative and the positive number. So your final answer has to be negative. And you're going to multiply the two numbers by itself. So 3 by 2, 6. Bam. You understand or you're confused?
I understand.
Okay. All right. Shana, do you overstand? That's a stupid joke.
I understand. Yeah, I understand.
All right. So you understand everything I did there. Now I just have to simplify. What is 4 minus 6? Tell me, Shana, what's 4 minus 6?
Minus 1.
Minus 2. And what is minus 2 plus 1?
Minus 1.
Right. All right, so the final answer is minus 1. Now, Keshava, be real with me, right? Are you confused by how I jump straight to the answer? Be real with me. Perseus.
So not really.
Not really. Jeremiah, let me know. Jashon, Vanessa. If anybody confused about how I went straight to the answer, tell me. Yvonne, you good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I'm answer.
Okay, good. Happy to hear that, Jashon. Right, so Yvonne, we can't always avoid negativity, right? So I will pick a negative number. Pick a negative number for now.
Negative 2.
All right. So again, a mistake students make is they forget to put the brackets. If you don't put the brackets by the negative 2, you're going to get it wrong, right? It should really be negative 2 in brackets squared minus 3 open bracket negative 2 plus 1. All right, Yvonne, what's negative 2 squared? Again, that means negative 2 by negative 2.
4.
4. All right. And we have negative 3 times negative 2. First of all, where's a negative by a negative?
Positive.
All right, and where's 3 by 2?
6.
All right, so positive 6 plus 1. 4 plus 6 is?
10.
10 plus 1 is?
11.
Bam. So I'm not going to do the rest, right? It's the same process. If you have anybody in class that want to just go over something another time, tell me, I'll go it over. Serena, I'm feeling bad for you now. With that Casio. Feeling bad for you. You're too smart to have that Casio. Serena, depending on where you are located, like where you live, I could buy a Casio calculator for you and give it to you.
Sure.
Yeah. If it have any students in class that are very hardworking and it's paying work, and I need any like financial help or something, I'll try to help them. Yeah. Right? So we handle question 4. Again, I'm gonna take it that we good. Don't leave me hanging like cliffhanger. Tell me if we good or not. I watching
You
all
good.
it with my glasses too, so and I'm not blind. If I take off my glasses, I wouldn't be able to see all it, but I can see all it. Right, so Shana, you good?
Yes, sir.
You've on how moving so dry, so yeah, we good or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Let's move on, right? Question 5. Right, so Vanessa, I'm gonna call upon your help for question 5. I feel like that might be a little tricky.
It's okay.
So the values in the table below represent a function. Identify the rule and express it in the form ax plus b. Now, Vanessa, did you ever do the equation of a straight line?
I don't think so.
Y is equal to mx plus c.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now, depending on how advanced all it is, right, I would tell you this. So Vanessa, remember last class, I showed you how to plot a graph.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the x value, right? And this is the set of what values? You see an f of x, but it's really the set of what values?
Y.
Y. Now, if I plot this graph, will I get a straight line or a curve? What do you think I'll get?
Curve.
I'll get a straight line.
Oh,
How I know that? Because it told me the relationship is in the form ax plus b. So here what? After I do functions, I will do coordinate geometry. Think I need that. Right? So depending on how advanced your mathematical knowledge is, I could tell you 2 things. If you want, you could take 2 of these points and find ingredients. Right? You could you could find ingredients, and if you find ingredients, you'll be able to find for E. Next thing, once you have that equation there, you can take a point, plug it in, and find for C. But I guessing we didn't we haven't reached that far yet. Right? If anybody know what I'm talking about, let me know. Did anybody in here ever look at the equation of a line and find ingredient and thing? Yeah, no, maybe.
Finding good one is not line.
Okay, well, as a bonus question, I will plot these points on a graph and I'll sketch it. And you can see what I'm talking about. So here what, right? We need to figure out how you're going from x to y. Right? So Vanessa, we know we had to multiply x by something and add something to it, hence? Yeah or no?
Yeah.
So let me start off with -1. So what by -1 plus what would give me 1? You have any ideas?
Positive 3. Oh, 3.
You tell them to say 3 by -1.
Oh, wait, I did. Sorry.
So this one a little confusing, Vanessa? But here what happening, right, Vanessa? Here what happening. Let me write it in this way that you all familiar with. So Vanessa, remember the start when we was doing this subject, I showed you all the range and the domain and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's -1 there. There's 0. There's 1. There's 2. There's 1. This is 4. This is 7, and this is 10. I would call this the what? The domain or the range.
Domain.
This is the domain, this is the x values. I would call this.
Codomain or range.
Right. And this is our y values. So they told us already that the function, what happening in the function, right, is that you have e times x plus b. So essentially, Vanessa, whatever value you put in for x, you had to multiply it by some number, and then you had to add some number to it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me start off with -1. So what do I have to multiply by -1 and then add something to it to get 1?
3. And then +1.
You're saying multiply -1 by 3 and then
Wait.
add what?
No, I don't think that's correct.
No, that's not correct. 3 by -1 is what?
-3.
-3 plus 1 is?
2. -2.
That's not equal to 1.
Um,
Something about that kind of fishy. Right? Yvonne, you want to take a crack at it?
I would have say 3 by -1 add 4.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Now, if it's correct, and it's supposed to work for the 0 and the 4 as well?
Yeah.
Let me see, right? So you're saying multiplying a number by 3 and then adding 4. That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if that'll work, right? But it's 3 by 0.
0.
0 plus 4 is?
4.
Okay. If it works for 1 and 7, you're definitely correct. So again, Yvonne, you are saying that you're multiplying the number by 3, right? So in this case, the number is what?
0.
Now we look at -1 and 0.
1, 1, 1.
1. And
Yeah.
add 4 to that. And if we correct, you're supposed to get what?
7.
What is 3 by 1?
3.
3 plus 4.
7.
Right. So then my function would be, f of x would be what?
F of x will be 3. And A will be 4.
Take your time. Watch this.
Alright.
So it's a by x plus b. So x is the number we are plugging in, right? And a is multiplying x by. So in all of these examples, you are multiplying the number by what?
By 3.
Right. So you need to say f of x is 3x, right? And to all of them, you added what to all of them?
4.
Right. You understand?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I feel like I confuse real people with that question, boy. I feel like real people confuse with that one. And if you're confused, tell me, you know, I don't shame in being confused. It will be shameful if you don't tell me. Right? Perseus, are you confused? Like, genuinely, are you confused?
yes, sir.
See, I like to hear that.
That make him a headache.
All right. So, Perseus, let me go back to the very start of functions, right? Like in the very first class. Now,
I'm sure I wasn't here for the first class, remember?
that's okay. That's okay. You say you watch the video, right?
I did.
Okay, then you shouldn't be that lost then. I take any word for you there, watch the video. If not, I catching you in your tracks here. Right? I catching you red-handed. All right. So Perseus, a function, just take an input x. It is do something to it and it spit out y. So Perseus, 2 is mapped onto 4. So what you could think about, okay, wait, what can you do with 2 to get 4? Tell me, Perseus. What can you do with 2 to get 4? Someone process. We could do it 2 to get 4. Like you could add something to 2,
You could add like 2 and 2 to get 4.
right? So if I add 2 to 2, I get 4. Now, if you are correct, it should work for the rest, right? So what could I do with 5 to get 7? Will it also work?
Yes, we could add 2, you'll get 7.
If I add 2 to 9, would I get 11?
Yes,
Okay. So then the function here would be f of x is equal to x plus 2 because I'm adding 2 to all my values of x. So 2, 5, and 9, all of them are x values. They could be any number. But the function is saying I'm just adding 2 to whatever x is to get the y value. Process, are you confused by that?
not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, that's good. So you think you could figure out this one then? So what can you do with 12 to get 27? Think hard. Let me see if you can figure it out. Vanessa, were you able to get through with that question I just did?
Yeah, I understand now.
Okay, good. So Perseus, think. What can you do with 12 to get 27? Maybe you might have to multiply it by a number and then add. And Keshava, if you have any ideas, you could WhatsApp it to me. And Jeremiah and Joshua, if any of you are confused, tell me. All right, Perseus, anything come to mind?
No, sir, still thinking.
Okay, so Perseus, 12 by 1 is?
12 by 1 is 12.
Okay, so Perseus, most of these things, you have to multiply that number by something and then add something to it. So I'll start out the answer, right? The answer for this is 2x plus 3. Let me explain why. So Perseus, if I multiply 12, what am I
I
going
was
to?
actually thinking of 2 multiplied by it, and then I was thinking of adding 4, but I don't know if it was.
Just say whatever you have in mind. If it's wrong, that's okay. If it's correct, that's good. But I'm not judging here, right? If I multiply 12 by 2, I'm going to get 24. If I add 3 to that, I get 27. If I multiply 13 by 2, I get 26. If I add 3, I get 29. So the function here would be f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. So that's the general pattern you want to follow. Now in this question, they are saying that the function takes a similar form, meaning you have to multiply x by something and then add something to it. So Perseus, I would have to multiply minus 1 by something and then add something to it to get 1. Could you think of anything?
Three and 4.
Okay, if you say, let me see that work out. 3 by minus 1 is minus 3. And minus 3 plus 4 is what? So minus 3 plus 4, that would give you back 1.
1.
Right? If you try it with 0 instead, you're supposed to get 4 if you're correct, right? Because that's what the diagram has. Supposed to get back 4. So 3 by 0 is 0, and 0 plus 4 is 4. So you see we gain it back. Correct. It makes sense. If we do it with 2, we're supposed to get 10. So if you were to say 3 by 2 plus 4, supposed to get 10. What's 3 by 2? It's 3 by 2.
6.
6 plus 4 is?
3 to 10.
Right, so it does work out. So this is correct. So in other words, what do you have to multiply x by and then add to get the range? Yeah. So in this example, you had to multiply x by 3 and then add 4 to it to get the y values. Yeah. Keshava, are you confused by that?
No, sir.
Now, so you actually understand now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, let's move on. All right, before I move on, I just want to plot this on our graph and let's see what it's looking like. Shina, let me know if you're there in class.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Shina, do you remember how you would get coordinates if you wanted to sketch a graph?
It will be the x and the y. X will be -1, comma 1,
Mm-hmm.
and so on.
So if you want to sketch a graph, you need to get coordinates. And coordinates, right? They are given by an x value and a y value, right? So tell me the first coordinate. What's the first coordinate?
-1, 1, comma 1.
Right? Process. What's the second coordinate? Okay, process. I'm not hearing you, but it's x comma y. So -1, 1 was the first one. So Keshava, what would the second coordinate be?
Um, sir, I'm kind of confused.
Okay. So remember how I told you a function is like a machine? You take something, you put it in, and you get something out. Was it you I told that to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What you're putting in is called x, and that could be any value. What you get out is sometimes called f of x or sometimes called y. Right? So you're putting in x and you're getting y out of that. A coordinate is given by the x value first, then the y value. So the first x value is -1, and when you put -1 into the function, you're going to get 1. So I said -1, comma 1. So Keshava, when I put 0 into the function, I'm going to get what for y?
So 0, 4.
Yeah, 0, comma 4, that's it. Yeah, right? And what do you think the next one will be?
1, 7.
Right? And the last one will be 2, comma 10. Right, so Vanessa, and you understand that?
Yeah.
Right. So we might struggle for some space over here, but we're going to make it work. So Vanessa, we're going to plot the first point. The first point is -1, comma 1. So that means, okay, when you're plotting points, you're always starting from 0, 0, which is the origin. So Vanessa, -1, comma 1. Tell me how to move to reach that point.
Okay, so you go on the -1 on the x-axis, and then you move up one space to the
Correct.
positive one on the y.
All right, that's correct. So if you have something like -1, comma 1, it means that you're going to move, well, you always move on the x-axis first, then you move up or down. Right? So it was -1, so you move -1, you move to -1 on the x-axis, and then you're going to move 1 up on the y-axis. So you're going to end up at this point. Keshava, are you confused by that?
No, sir.
Yvonne, tell me if you're confused by that.
Nah.
No? Jashon, confused by that?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So Jashon, the next point is 0, comma 4. Tell me how I will move to go to 0, comma 4. How would I move if I want to go to 0, comma 4?
So you're going say going across, so going to the right, so
Nah. Joshua, if the first value is the x value and the second value is the y value, what's the x value over here?
yes,
If it's 0, are you moving to the left or to the right?
you stay in that center, so
Yeah, you're staying in the center, right? Staying in the center. Because what? In the previous coordinate, that had -1. -1 meant you had to move to this point. But if it's 0, you're staying over here, right? You're staying over there. And then we have 4. So if you're staying in the center, that means you're staying in the center, right? And the next thing you're going to do is move 4 up or 4 down. What do you think we have to do?
yeah, they go up, so
Exactly. How much spaces am I going to move up? So 0, 4.
4, so
Bam. 1. That one confused you? Can I hear it?
that's why I mix them up, so.
So just remember, Joshua, is always x, then is y. If it's 0, that means you're staying where you are. All right?
Yeah, so
All right, Keshava, you think you can help me plot the other point? The other point
Yes,
is
sir.
1,7. 1,7. That means if I'm starting off at the origin, what's my next movement? I had to move.
So you're moving one space to the right and you're going up 7.
Yep, that's it. Right. All right, nice. Perseus, you think you're able to help me with the last one? Tell me. Last one.
I'll try. I'll try.
Nice. I like that spirit. I will have to extend this graph. We could probably call this 10. All right, so Perseus, it's always the x, it's always x first, right? So tell me, what's the x value over here?
2
And the y value is?
10.
Right. So you're going to do the x movement first. So if it's +2, am I going to move to the left or to the right?
To the right.
All right, so I'm going to move 2 to the right and then what?
Move up.
How much space is up?
10.
Yeah, that's it. So that I would end up over here. What do you find that was?
It was weird. Good. Good.
It was weird. What about it was weird?
No, I didn't mean like weird, but weird in a good way.
Oh, okay. All right. So here what, guys? That looking like a curve or a straight line. I'm asking Shina. That looking like a curve or a straight line. Shina, what is that looking like? A curve or a straight line? Can I hear any Shina? Could somebody in class tell me? It's not a, by the way, it's not a deep question, eh? Is that a curve or is that a straight line?
a straight line.
It's a straight line, right? And when we do in coordinate geometry, you guys will learn about gradients and y-intercept. But let me just give a little preview into this thing, right? And I'm going to show you how we're going to get the same answer. Did anybody in class ever do the gradient formula and thing? You know, let me show you what I'm talking about. So like if you have a straight line, right? So if you have a straight line, then the equation of the straight line will be y is equal to mx plus c. It will look like that, or it could also look like f of x is equal to mx plus c, right? Did anybody in class ever see this before? Like in school? Yeah or no?
Yes, I saw it before, but he never really wanted it to.
Okay, well, let me show you how this is going to work, right? So, Joshua, if we're looking at the properties of a line, n different lines could be Okay, end lines could be steep. Like imagine you're driving, right? And different roads might be like different levels of steepness. Yeah or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So all lines would have a steepness, and all lines would pass through a specific y value. So m is called the gradient. Let me just color code this thing. So I kind of give only a prelude, right? Just like a little look into this thing before we do it. It's not that hard. Right? So m is the gradient, and it's basically how steep something is. Gradient. Okay, Shiva, if I have a straight line, would you say a straight line is steep?
No, sir.
No. If I were to ask you what the gradient, what the steepness of a straight line is, what do you think you would tell me? Like a perfectly, like, okay, straight line is a bad word to use. If I have a horizontal line, is that steep?
No, sir.
And that's perfectly flat road.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think the steepness could be? Equal to what?
0?
Yeah, yeah. I still don't know, the math's not that deep. Right? Process. If I say in gradient is how steep something is, and that flat road wouldn't be steep at all? Tell me if that making sense. Process. If you're confused,
I don't think so.
you don't think you're confused?
Oh no, to the answer to the question, sir.
Okay. Process. Steepness is the degree. Okay, here's some examples, right? Okay, here's some examples. First of all, do you know what the word steep means?
I do.
All right. So which road would be the steepest road over here? Imagine you have to drive up. Which road looking the steepest? 1, 2, or 3?
I think it's 1.
Yes. So you can think of steepness as the angle between the horizontal line and the line in question. So if we're looking at it like that, wouldn't this angle be bigger than this angle? Yeah or no?
Yes, sir.
And this angle would practically be 0. It would be 0. And think about it, Perseus. If you had to drive, which one would be the easiest which one would be the easiest road to climb or drive on? 1, 2, or 3? Which one looking like the easiest road?
3.
3. So 1 is the steepest, 2 is the second steepest, and 3 has a steepness of 0. If something is completely horizontal, it has a gradient of 0, right? So M, right, nice. So M is the gradient, and C is the y-intercept. When I hear the word intercept, what does come to mind?
Like going through.
Yes, that is it. So if you see C and you see my right y-intercept, that means it's cutting the y-axis. I should probably write the full word, seeing that this is the first time I'm seeing this. Right? Y. So C is the y-intercept. Nice. Now, if you want to find the gradient is change in y over change in x. So gradient would be y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So I feel like I'm confused on with that. I'll give a more practical example of it, right? So if you want to find the gradient of a line, you would pick 2 points on the line. So I could take this point and I could take this point. So I'm saying that gradient is the change in y over the change in x. So Keshava, if I ask you what is the change between 2 points and take a minus the 2 points?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me give a more practical example. If you start a race off 10 kilometers, right? And and you reach the finish line, which is at 50 kilometers, what was the distance you travel?
40 kilometers.
Right. So the change in distance was 40, and
Yes, sir.
yeah. So when I say change in y, this is what I mean, right? So Keshava, and the y value here is 10, and the y value here is 1.
Yes, sir.
Was he changing that?
So 9.
Yeah. Yeah. 9. And if we look at this point, the x value is -1, and we look at this point, the x value is 2. The change in that will be -1, -2, -3. Or you can think about it as just being 3, right? The difference between -1 and 2 is 3. So gradient is just change in y over change in x. So that's all. That's all. Right. So Keshava, I'm going to pick 2 points, right? So the final gradient, you have to pick 2 points. So I'm gonna pick this point over here. This point is -1, 1, right? And Perseus, if I'm picking this point over here, what would that point be? Just remind me what this point would be.
2 and 10.
Right, 2, 10. Now, Vanessa, nth a coordinate is made up of a x value and a y value,
Yeah.
right? So it really doesn't matter, right? But which one you want to call x1, y1, and which one you think you should call x2, y2. Again, it don't matter, you know. So which one you want to call the first point? That's my question.
2, 7.
Wait, so I already picked 2 points, right, Vanessa? I picked -1, 1, and I picked 2, 10.
Okay.
Which one you want to call the first point, and which one you want to call the second point?
2, 10 for the first one, for x1 and y1, x1 and yeah. And yeah.
Right. Yvonne, I think you was asking me about this last class.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now here what I do what I'm thinking, well, if I put x2, y2 over here, it'll be wrong. No, if you switch the order, it'll be correct. I'll show you what I mean. So if I want to find the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So Perseus, I said that this was the first point, so I'm calling that x1 and y1. So x1 is 2 and y1 is 10. And I'm calling this the second point. So x2 is -1 and y2 is 1 because I'm calling it the second point. So first is 1, second is 2. Right? So Perseus, the final gradient, I'm going to say y2 minus y1. So what is y2? Tell me, Perseus, what is y2? So you're looking at the second point and the y value for the second point.
1.
Right? 1. Right? So you just told me 1 here. Nice. And what's the other y value? The first y value.
10.
Right. Okay. Shina, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, nice. All right. So what is x2? Tell me, what is x2?
-1.
-1. Oh, oof. -1. Right? Minus x1. What is x1?
2.
Right. So what is 1 minus 10?
Oh, sorry, 9.
-9.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
And what is -1 minus 2?
-3.
Well, negative divided by negative is our plus, right? So plus.
Yes.
And how much times 3 could go into 9?
3.
Right. Are they probably looking at this and saying, okay, so making sense, like watch what I was saying, right? I told you at the start that if you plot the graph, you'll get a straight line. How much of you guys kind of confused on how I know that. Be real with me. When I looked at the question, I told you guys that, this going to be a straight line. But did anybody wonder how I knew that? Anybody wonder how I know that?
Thinking about it now, I actually want to know how you know that, to be honest.
I know that because it told me the function would be in the form ax plus b. That's why I know that. Because recall, right? Check this. The equation of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c, or you can write it as f of x is equal to mx plus c. Now, someone they might be saying, but sir, I have a over here and I have b over here, and I have m over here and I have c over here. Who's saying that? Yvonne.
Yeah.
Looking a bit different,
Yeah.
but I want you to just keep in mind a and b could be any number. M and C
Mhm.
could be any number. It's really not that different. Really not that different. So when I look at that, I know it had to be a straight line when I plot it.
Alright.
Okay. And so here what? The equation of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. So Yvonne, we just now found for m. M is equal to 3. We just now found for that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now C is the y-intercept. That's where the line is cut in the y-axis. Now, just by looking at the graph here, where is the line cut in the y-axis? Somebody tell me, where's the line cut in the y-axis?
0, 4.
At 4, right? At this point over here, yeah?
Yes.
Think all of we could agree with that? That this over here, this is the y-intercept. So the graph is cut in the y-axis at 4. Right? So graph is cut in y-axis at 4. So C will be equal to what then? What do you think? If I say C is the y-intercept, that's where it cuts in the y-axis. What do you think you're going to write for C? Somebody make a guess. If I just say C is the y-intercept, where the line cut in the y-axis, and we see in that the line cut in the y-axis at 4, where do you think I'm going to put C as?
4.
Yeah, I'm going to put C as 4. And if I put everything together in this form, right? If I put everything together, right? So therefore C would be equal to 4. Or what I get, Sheena, if I put everything together, I would get y is equal to, what did I find m was? What was m?
4.
M was 3.
Oh, sorry. So I was, you know what?
And plus C, we found C to be 4. Max, I have a question. Isn't that the same thing we got over here?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm. And how and why? Well, the form they told us, right? They said f of x is equal to ax plus b. That's in the form of a straight line, right? Which is y is equal to mx plus c, or f of x is equal to mx plus c. If I know that, I just had to find ingredient and the y-intercept, and I get my answer, right? I understand that a lot of you are confused. When we actually doing coordinate geometry, it'll make a lot more sense. But did everybody understand how I found the gradient of a line? Tell me if you understood that. Perseus. I always have a hard time with your name. Right, Perseus. Did you understand how I found the gradient to be 3?
Yes.
And do you understand why I'm saying C is 4?
Yes.
Great. That's all you need to know for now. Right? Okay. Okay, Shava. I'm not sure how much of this stuff you'll do before, but like on a scale to 1 to 10, how confused are you?
Sir, 7.65.
7.65. What do you mean?
So that's my confused level.
Oh, 7.65. That's oddly accurate. Tell me where did I where are real confusing? Like tell me, like
So with gradients and the kind of formula y plus m and stuff, sir.
you never do that in schools yet.
Nah, sir.
Now well the confusion is on the like I understand the confusion then, right? But if you accept it, because this is a whole topic we had to do by itself, I had to do this topic by itself. I was just kind of showing only how it would look like, right? But okay, Shaba, you understand how I find for M? Like accepting everything. You understand? Yeah. Did you understand how I find for M? Be honest with me. Like, I mean, I know you never see the formula before, right? But do you understand how I use the formula?
Yes, sir.
So, Keshava, if there's anything I want you to take away is, and I took 2 points, like on the graph, and I read off 2 points,
Yes, sir.
right? So I call this point the first point, x1, y1, and I call this point the second point, x2, y2. So the gradient formula will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you just substitute and you work it out. So you understand how I find for M using the formula? Yeah? No? Kishava? I will be honest, man. Like, are you confused with how I get the y2 and the y1 and where that come from? Can I hear in Kishava? Right? But Perseus, you understand the gradient part.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Like I said, this is a whole topic I need to do with you all called coordinate geometry. So I understand if you all are not, I understand if you all are confused. I understand. Right? So the next thing we have to move on to in functions is called the inverse function. That's the next thing we have to move on to. So I'm going to move on to that now. Right? So could somebody just tell me what a regular functioners do? Vanessa, you can tell me what a regular functioners do?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. What do you understand by a function? Be honest with me, like tell me anything. I just want to hear what you understand by it.
Um, like one specific thing?
Just anything. I just want to hear what you think about a function. Like what do you think a function is?
Well, I think is a coordinate.
A coordinate. It definitely gives you coordinates, but that's not the main thing a function is. Here, well, let me go back to the start, right? I really want you to understand what a function is. So, Vanessa, wait, were you there in the first class?
Yeah.
Were you there for the first class?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So, Vanessa, a function is a machine, right? You put something into it, the function does something, and you get an output. That's what a function is. So, Vanessa, if I plug in any one of these values into this function would do something to it and spit out an answer. So Vanessa, you understand that if I put 2 into this, it'll add 2 to it. So I'll get 4. Yeah or no?
Yeah.
If I put 5 into this function, it adds 2 and gives me 7. If I put 9 into the function, it adds 2 and it gives me what?
11.
So Vanessa, say it out now. A function is a machine, right? A function is a machine. You take a value, which is an x value, you plug it in, and you get an output call the y value. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
So I want to revisit this question. If you fully understand it, you'll figure out this question. So, Vanessa,
Mhm.
we call the input what? What do we call the input?
Fx. No, x.
We call the input x. And the function is do something to x, and
Yeah.
right. Now, this is the function here. What is the function doing to x over here?
Add in 3 and then double in.
Right. So you're gonna add 3 to x. Yeah? Tell me if you understand that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to double this entire thing. You're gonna multiply it by 2. That's our function. So our function is just what you're doing to the x value. You could add something to the x value. You could multiply the x value by something, anything really. But the function is what you're doing with the x value. Right? Understand?
Yeah.
And the output, the what value? Tell me, Vanessa, what would I call the output?
Fx.
You could call it fx. You could call it fx. Right, but really, way to think about fx is the function, but sure. And it's also called y. Right, Vanessa? So when you put x into a function, it gives you the y value. And that's actually how we get coordinates, because it gives you an x and a y value. So Vanessa, x is the input, right? And y is the output. So our function maps x onto y. That's the proper terminology. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So let's just do a quick recap. What the hell is a function? Right? Vanessa, remind me, what is our function?
Function is basically what you do to the x value,
Yeah, to get the what value?
y value.
Right. Right, so a function takes in an x value, right? I'll be more general. So a function takes in a value. We call this the x value. Does
Organize.
A does run with plan.
Ah, there.
As
To be
just,
for 5 class, right?
this is the form 4 class, but stay, right? Those who in form 5 or they could still stay and learn something. I mean, or they go how to do this in the exam anyways, right?
All right, yeah, nothing.
Yeah. Right? So our function takes in a value, we call that the x value, right? Right? Does something to it. It and outputs a new value. Right? And Vanessa, what do we call this new value?
Y.
Right. Right? So in summary, a function maps the x value onto the what value?
The y value.
Right. So what do you think our inverse functions do? And inverse can also like opposite.
Yeah.
So if a regular function is map x onto y, you plug in x and you get y. What do you think our inverse functions do?
mapping y onto x.
That is it. That is all. Tell it on the maths, not that deep. It's very self-explanatory. If you know a function is map x onto y, then an inverse function is just to the reverse. Simple. That's literally it. Right? And let's look at a quick example of a function. Right? Desron, give me a quick function. Give me a quick function. So like f of x is equal to what? So Desron, just give me a quick function. So a function is just do something to x, right? Like you could multiply x by a number, you could add a number to x. All of that is functions. Anybody in class will give my example of a function. Anybody? So all you're doing is just doing something to x. You can add something to x. You can take away something from x. You can multiply x by something, anything. Let me hear, guys. Somebody tell me something. Or you're leaving me hanging like cliffhanger.
Okay, so 3x squared minus -5.
Okay, let me keep it simple, right? Let
I
me keep
mean minus 5, not negative.
You're correct, right? You're correct. But I want to keep it very, like, extremely simple. I want to keep it really, really simple. So if we have a function 3x, right? Let me show you what this means. So take, for instance, I have a set of x values. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And the function is telling us that you're taking these x values, you're putting it in, you're multiplying it by 3, and you're getting your y value out. Okay, that's fine. So somebody tell me, if I put 1 into the function, right? That's going to be 3 by 1, right? Because I'm multiplying that x value by 3. What would I get? What would I get out? So if I put 1 into the function, I'm going to get what?
3.
3,
Or if I put 2 into the function, I'm going to get what?
6,
I get 6, right? If I put 3 into the function, I'm going to get 9. If I put 4 into the function, I'm going to get 12, right? So I hope everybody could understand that f of x, the function, is taking you from x to y. So you would say f of x maps x onto y. That is what our regular functions do. What do you guys think the inverse function would do? If a regular function maps x onto y, what do you all think the inverse function will do?
Map y onto x.
Map y onto x, that's correct. Right? So regular function. Regular function. Nice. Now let me go through the general procedure to get the inverse function. But before I do that, let me show you what the inverse function will do. So the inverse function, if you put in 3, you'll get 1. If you put in 6, you'll get 2. If you put in 9, you'll get 3. If you put in 12, you'll get 4. Right? So inverse function maps y values onto x values. Now, this example is very, very simple. What's the opposite of multiplying by 3? If the regular... Yeah, and that's literally it, right? That's literally it. The original function was multiplying by 3. So the inverse of that is just dividing by 3, right? That's it. So we're going to show you the full steps, right? Vanessa, you there?
yeah,
Vanessa, if I divide 3 by 3, what am I going to get?
1,
If I divide 3 by 6, what am I going to get?
2,
If I divide 9 by 3, what am I going to get?
3,
And I'm just doing the inverse. I'm multiplying by 3,
yeah,
dividing by 3. Simple. All right. So the inverse function for this, I would write it as f minus 1 x So f inverse x, that would be equal to a third x. Now, something that's confused a lot of students is, okay, if we map in y onto x, then why am I still using x over here? And the reason why is because when you look at the inverse function, the x and the y values swap. So, Vanessa, you see how the original function was x onto y? Yeah? Makes sense, right? The original function was f of x is 3x. Makes sense, right? Yeah, Vanessa?
Yeah.
Right. You might probably be wondering, well, if I'm saying y onto x, then why am I seeing x over here? The reason is because the inverse function switches the x and the y. So this essentially becomes x and this essentially becomes y with the inverse function, right? Because Vanessa, and if we're looking at the inverse function, we now plugging in these values instead of these values.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this come like the set of this and that now would come like the set of x values, right? So let's see if it's correct. So Vanessa, if I put 3 into this function, I'm supposed to get 1. Let me see if that works. All right, so f inverse of 3 would be a third by 3. So we get 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what inverse functions do. Maps y onto x. Now let me show you the general steps to do it, because not all the functions gonna be as simple as 3x. So I will send you notes immediately after class, right? So how would we find the inverse function? So I just wanna write down some steps, right? So those here who do any Form 5 sessions, remember I said that I was starting the Form 4 class a bit late, and so I would have started the Form 5 session a bit late. Yeah, so this is still the Form 4 session, right? But all you had to do this in the exam anyways, so I don't see why I would leave, right? You had to do this in the exam anyways. So lock in, right? So Vanessa, and you understand that the inverse function is literally just do the opposite of this? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
If f of x was multiplying by 3, then f inverse x would be divide by 3. Simple, right? But we need to make steps because not all of them must be as simple as 3x. So how would we find the inverse function? Right? Step 1. The first thing you want to do is let the function be equal to y. So let me give you an example, right? Let's just say we had a function like g of x. Let's say g of x was 9x plus 2. So according to that, I would say let g of x be equal to y. And if I do that, I'm going to replace g of x with y. That's literally what it says. So let the function be equal to y. And in this line, I would have said let g of x be equal to y. That's it. So let me ask that question. If I had a function f of x is equal to 9x, what would I write that as? Somebody tell me. If I have f of x is 9x, what would I write that as? If I say let the function be equal to y, how would I write that?
Y equals 9x.
Right. I would write y is equal to 9x. Wow. Nice. Let's look at the second step. The second step is you want to swap x and y. Because you're doing the inverse, you want to swap the x and the y too. So let's continue from here, Sheena. So we have y is equal to 9x plus 2. If I swap the x and the y, what would I end up with? If I swap the x and the y, what would I end up with? So guys, any way you see y, replace it for x. Any way you see x, replace it for y. That's all I say. So you're gonna swap x and y. So if I have this, what should it now become? Somebody take a
Sorry.
Tamo,
X equals 9y plus 2.
right? Nice. And the third step, you want to make y the subject of the formula. Okay, right. So Shayna, we have x is equal to 9y plus 2. If we want to make y the subject, in other words, we want to find for y. Here what we should do, right? So Shayna, and normally when you're trying to find for something, and you just want all the unknowns to be on the left-hand side.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So would it be illegal for me to swap it like this? If I were to write 9y plus 2 is equal to x, did I break any laws?
No, sir.
No. If anybody real confused, let me give you a simple example, right? Imagine you had 7 is equal to 1 plus x. Do we like seeing the unknown on the right-hand side? We're trying to find for x. Would you rather see x on the left-hand side or the right-hand side? Let me hear, guys. If you're trying to find for x,
Right.
so over here, you say right,
Sorry, left.
left. So enter will be possible for me to write that as 1 plus x equal to 7.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and from here you can just move across 1 and it'll be 7 minus 1, so x will be equal to 6. Bam. So in this instance, I want to find for y. In other words, I want to make y the subject of the formula. So if you want to find for something, ideally, it should be on the left-hand side, right? So I want to find for y. I want to find for y. So, Shayna, if I want to find for y, I'm going to leave y over here. Leaving it over there, right? And I'm going to move across everything else other than the y. So you see this plus 2 over here? I'm going to send across that plus 2. If I send across the plus 2, what would I end up with?
9y equals x minus 2.
Right. I want to then move across the 9. If I want to move across the 9, since it's being multiplied here, if I move it across, that multiply gonna turn to what?
Divide.
So I'm gonna end up with x minus 2 divided by 9. Yeah. And the last step is to write y as the inverse function. So, Shayna, what was the original function? In this example, the original function was what?
G of x equals 9x plus 2.
So the original function was g of x, and
Yes, sir.
right? So I would write g inverse x, because in step 4 it says write y as the inverse function. So I would, if the original function was g of x, then I'd write y as g inverse of x, right? And that would be equal to x minus 2 over 9. Yeah. So these are the general steps. If you want to find the inverse function, this is how you would do it. So step 1, let the function be equal to y. So if you had something like g of x, you would say let g of x be equal to y. If you're saying that, then you could write y is equal to 9x plus 2. Step 2, you want to swap x and y. So anywhere you see x, change that to y. Anywhere you see y, change that to x. Step 3, you want to make y the subject of the formula. If you want to make something the subject, ideally, you should have it on the left-hand side. So all I did was, I just switched this thing around, and then I move across the plus 2, so I end up with x minus 2, and then I move across the 9, so it turned to divide by 9. Why? Is because over here was 9 multiplied by y, so if I move it across, it will turn to the opposite, which is divide. And then the last step is to write y as the inverse function. Remember at the start, I had g of x. So now I'll write it as g inverse of x. I feel like if I could have seen all your faces, a lot of you would have been confused. If all are real confused, tell me. Tell me, guys. I don't mind going over anything there now. Keshava, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Keshava, you did algebra in school yet?
Yes, sir.
Like making things the subject of the formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, nice. Did I do anything here that was extremely confusing?
No, sir, not really.
Not really? Okay, it's just a new procedure I had to learn, but the arithmetic wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Good. Princess, I know it looking dark, but tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling.
I feel
Well,
I feel okay, but some practice will do that.
Okay, okay. Right. 4 and 5 people, how are they feeling? The 4 and 5 people are real quiet. All you gotta do is, they can't stay quiet in the exam. Right? Sky, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know how to do this?
So it was like a refresh.
Okay. I genuinely think everybody in the Form 5 class should come to the Form 4 class. Because I learn how to do that in the exam anyways. So, all right. Now, Anna, like you was telling me, the inverse function is map y onto x, right? So, do you think I could prove that my answer is correct? Do you think I could prove that my answer is correct? Do you think there's a way to prove if the answer is correct?
The answer for 4 at y as the inverse function.
Yeah, you think there's a way to prove that inverse function is correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a way. Let we generate a sample diagram, right? Like a sample mapping diagram. If I create a sample mapping diagram, let me just come up with a couple x values. So I could probably say x is 1, x is 2, x is 3, right? So I would call these the set of x values, right? And this will be the range. I'll say in range, this will be the domain. And the function here, the function is g of x is equal to 9x plus 2. Right. So, Anna, if I follow that function, anything that I put in, I need to multiply by 9 and then add 2 to it. So, if I multiply 1 by 9, what's that? What's 9 by 1?
Well, 9.
And 9 plus 2 is?
9 plus 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That will be doing. Alright.
So, we map in the x values onto the y values using the original function. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right? So, if I plug 2 into this function, 9 by 2 is what?
18 and then add 2 is 20.
Right. So you could clearly see, using the original function, we plug in an x value and we get an output, which is the y value. Nice. If I replace x for 3, 9 by 3 is?
36.
Yeah, 9 by 3 is 27.
27, ja.
Yeah.
Ja.
I'm going to show you a quick way to know if you're... Okay, you told me 36, right? Told me 36.
No, don't say any 26. I'm feeling shame. Stop.
No.
It's 27.
Let me show you why that would be wrong. That would be wrong because if you consider 3 by 10, did you know 3 by 10 is 30?
Yeah.
But then 3 by 9 had to be less than 30. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, so 27 plus 2 is
29.
right. And you could clearly see how that working, right? I putting in x and again y when you do the original function. Yeah, no, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quiz the Form 5 people. Simran, Jira, Joshua, Kadisha, Desron. I don't understand what's going on there. I'll be basically plugging in x into the function and again y. I don't understand what's going on there.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Cool. So the inverse function supposed to do what then? If the original function going from 1 to 11, what the inverse function should do? Somebody tell me.
Should go backwards 11 to 1.
It should, right? Remember, I was asking if there was a way to prove if our answer was correct. Well, we could see, right? So what did we come up with okay, so for the inverse function, what did we come up with? We came up with what, Anna?
I mean,
What did we come up with, right? Came up with x minus 2 over 9. Would you like me to run through back the steps on how to find the inverse function?
please I'm not.
Okay, no problem. But we found it to be x minus 2 over 9, right? We found it to be that. So if that's correct, when I put 11 into the inverse function, what am I supposed to get? If we correct. Tell me, Anna.
You would get 11 take 2 over 9. That is 1.
Right. And hence, inverse function, let's take 11 and it should give you 1.
Yeah.
If you put 20, what are you supposed to get?
Yeah, it should get back 2.
Right. If I put 29, I should get back 2.
Yeah.
So let me just test these things first. 11 minus 2 is 9. 9 over 9 is 1. Bam. It works. What about if we put in 20 into that? Where's 20 minus 2?
18.
Where's 18 over 9?
2.
Right? If I put 29 into the inverse function, what is my expected answer? What is my expected answer?
3.
So 29 minus 2 over 9. That's going to be 27 over 9.
Yeah.
Which is
3.
Maths is very cool. It works out. So, Vanessa, do you understand now what our function is and what the inverse function is?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so waiter. Miss Vanessa. Waiter, introducing. I don't know if I did know that reference, right? And I think it's Nessa Prepper or something. I saw something, Nessa.
Vanessa Bling. That's good. That your channel.
I think so. You know what they say?
Introducing Vanessa Bling.
Yeah. All right. So, Miss Vanessa, the floor is yours. I want you to explain to the class what a function is and where's an inverse function. I'm gonna see you take a go at it. I promise I'm not putting you on the spot. Promise.
Okay, so basically a function maps the x value onto the y value, and an inverse function reverses it and maps the y value onto the x value.
Big up. You spit some bars there. Big up you. So I trust it sound like you understand it. So big up yourself. Right? Big up yourself. Yeah. Nice. All right. Ria, I now see a message. You in class?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hear me?
Yes. I sounding real windy though.
Hold on.
It sounded like you have a tornado in Trinidad. By hearing you. Yeah,
Better?
yeah, better there.
Okay. I hear
All
you.
right, nice. Okay, so this is still the Form 4 session. I'm just wrapping up inverse functions. We'll move on to the Form 5 session just now. We was doing circles in the Form 5 session. So a lot of you guys wanted me to go over how I did the inverse function, yeah? Or was it just you, Anna? I'm sure it has some other people. They just scared to say so.
You can go it over.
Okay, I like to hear
That
this.
function thing music. Bye. Wow, we heard problems in the end.
The function do function. Oh, God. The function do function. All right, let me run through back this functions thing. So everybody that potentially confused, I want you to leave all your mic unmuted and we run through it together, right? So there's run. Saying that a function, okay. You take a x value, which could be any number. So you take a number, you put it into a function, and the function does something to the number, and it gives you an output. That's what a function is, right? So let's run. Imagine you have 1, 2, or 3. I plug that into the function, right? So the function says 9 by 1, then add 2. So it gives me 11. So just run. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a function takes in an x value, it does something to it, and then it gives you a y value. But let's run in this case, it multiplying the x value by 9 and then adding on 2. So make sense?
Yeah.
Let's run. If I put 3 into this function, what's supposed to get? So 9 by 3 plus 2, what's supposed to get?
I got 29.
Right. So
9 got 27 and I had 2.
right? And that trend applies for every element in the domain. So if you put 1, 9 by 1 is 9, 9 plus 2 is 11. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right, so there's run. A regular function, it would map the x values onto the y values. Did I confuse you? Are you with me so far?
Yeah, with you.
Okay, nice. Right. So inverse function, this kind of sound like the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the regular function maps x onto y, what do you think the inverse functions do?
I'm mapping
Opposite direction, just going in opposite direction. It mapping what?
I'm mapping one x.
Y onto x. So with the inverse function, if I put 11 into it, I should get what?
I should get if we 11 inches. I should get 2.
I should get 1. Watch. Let's run.
Oh, 1. Sorry, yeah, 1.
And when you put 1 into the original function again, 11,
Yeah.
the inverse will take 11 and give you 1.
Yeah. 1.
Yeah. Right? Let me show you the most basic example you could think of. Right? The most basic example. Let's run. And to understand that we have a diagram here. We have a function, and basically, whatever you put in, you're multiplying by 3. Yeah or no? So let's
Yeah.
check this, right? This is the simplest. This is as simple as it gets. You put 1 into this function, you get 3 because 3 by 1 is 3. Yeah?
Yeah.
You put 2 into this function, 3 by 2 is 6, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what is the opposite of multiplying x by 3?
I divide.
Divide. So the inverse function for this example would just be a third of x. Or x over 3. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see if that works, right? That's wrong. If I
Yeah.
put into this, what is 3 over 3?
3 over 3 is 1.
Right? What is 6 over 3?
Over. over 3 is 2.
Right. So you think you could understand what the inverse function is for this extremely simple example?
Yeah.
Right. So I hope I'm not confusing anybody. All the inverse functions do, it is just do the opposite of the regular function. That's all. That's literally it. Right? Give me a moment. All right. Yeah, so that's Ronnie, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Now the problem is be to find the inverse function. So I'm gonna run through these steps one more time. I'm gonna use a different example. So everybody who don't know how to find the inverse function, pay attention. For those of you who are feeling confident about it, I want to let you find the inverse function of h of x. So I'm going to say h of x is equal to 3x plus 4. So if I do real bad, I want to let you find the inverse function of that for me. Right? And you go send me your answer on WhatsApp. Right? Just let me know how much people don't know how to find that inverse function. Tell me. So Desron, I'm putting you in that category. Hannah, you wanted me to go it over, so you in that category. Have anybody else that's in the category of
Me.
okay, Ria, nice. Who else? Okay, don't feel shame, you know. Sky, you know how to find the inverse function and get full marks?
So I feel like I would be confident, but then I would make a mistake.
So not entirely confident.
That's it.
Okay. So if you're not entirely confident, say so, right? But if you're confident, go ahead and find the inverse function. So let me show you the general steps, right? The first step, you're letting the function be equal to y. So the function here is h of x. So I'm going to say, let h of x be equal to y. If I do that, I want somebody to tell me the next line. If you're replacing h of x for y, what's the next line? Somebody tell me. Anybody?
Y equals 3x plus 4.
Right, y is equal to 3x plus 4. Shayna, that was you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shayna, you know how to do this thing, so stay a little quiet. A little. If somebody get in trouble with it, then get them a hint, right? But other than that, stay quiet. You know how to do this thing.
All right, sir.
Yeah. Rika, on a scale to 1 to 10, how confusing was that? I say the first thing you had to do is let the function be y. Ria?
Yeah, I just reading it over. It's still a little confusing, but I mean, I'm following.
Okay. I want you to tell me where's the confusing part about it? Is it because you're seeing a bunch of letters on thing and it's like, oh God, letters?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
I feel it. I relate. But yeah, what after class, I want you to look back at this entire session and you will see everything does make sense. Right? I'm going
Okay.
to give you a quick recap. An extremely fast recap. So a function is just an expression you can plug something into. So this will be the set of x values, and these values you could plug them into the function. So if I put 1 into the function, anyway you see x, replace that for 1. So I'll say 9 by 1 plus 2. 9 by 1 is 9. 9 plus 2 is?
11.
Right. Cool. If you put 2 into the function, 9 by 2 plus 2, that'll be 20. You put
Yeah.
2 into the function, 9 by 3 is 27, 27 plus 2 is 29. So all you need to understand is that for a function, you have a set of x values. That's where you put it into the function, right? Because if you put something into the function, you get output, you get value. Area.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
If I put something into the function, wouldn't I get an answer?
Yeah.
Right? So if I put 1 into the function here, what did I get?
11.
Right? When I put 2 into the function, what did I get?
20.
Right. Say it's right.
Yeah.
So whatever you're putting in, we call that x. And whatever you get out, that's y. Yeah. Now x and y could be any number, right? But that's all you need to know, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if I put so, what am I going to put into a function? An x value or a y value,
An x value,
right? And what am I going to get out of it,
an answer.
right? And I'd call that the y value, right?
Right.
Right. You understand that x any number and y could be any number, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Because over here, I just seen x could be 1, x could be 2, x could be 3.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. So for anybody here that confused about why I'm saying h of x is y, that's because a function gives you a y value. Ria, if I plug a x value into a function, I get a y value.
Yeah.
So the first thing to say is I'm going to let the function be equal to y because it will give me a y value. Right? So for those who are very confused, let me know where all you're standing right now. So Sky, Ezron, basically everybody that was confused about it. I need to know what they did. I don't want to lose anybody.
Well,
I only read it here. I only read it here.
Okay, good. So this is the first step. You're letting the function be equal to y. Right? Okay. The next step, you want to swap x and y. So if I swap x and y, anywhere I have y, write x. Anywhere I have x, write y. So Ria, if I replace y with x and x with y, tell me what I should write over here. Give it a guess. Give it a go.
Wait, you can repeat?
So the second step is to swap x and y. So anywhere you see y, you're going to write x. Anywhere you see x, you're going to write y. So what should I write in this line?
So x equals 3y plus 4?
Yep, that's it. So Anna, you with me so far? Let's run.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? I have plenty of people in class, you know. I have like 17 people in class. I'll be hearing more people. Right? Okay. The next step, right? The next step, you're going to make y the subject of the formula. Make y the subject. Okay, we're gonna make y the subject of the formula. Now, guys, let me just draw your attention to a very simple, a simple equation to solve. If we had 7 is equal to 1 plus x, right? Ria, what's the only unknown over here? What's the only unknown?
X.
Right, so we don't know where x is. Now, this is easy to solve, right? What would you have to add to 1 to get 7? 1 plus what is 7?
6.
Right, so the answer for x is 6. But if you wanted to solve it algebraically, let me show you how we would do it. Now, Ria, if you want to find for something, you write on the left-hand side or the right-hand side?
Left hand.
Right, so what I am allowed to do is, I'm allowed to basically flip the equation. I could write this as 1 plus x is equal to 7. Right, that's still true. What looks easier to solve? Which one looking easier to solve? 1 or 2?
2.
2, right? So
Yeah.
to find for x now, I would move across 1. If I move across 1, I'm going to turn to what? So if it was positive 1 before it moved across, when I move
It'll
across,
be negative 1.
right, x is equal to 6. Right. Let's run. You're familiar with that?
Yeah.
Anna, you good with that? I hear Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So here, what right? In the third step, you want to make y the subject. So what I would advise you to do is, I would advise you to to flip the equation so that the y would be on the left-hand side. It's easier to solve when it's on the left-hand side. So you're going to end up with 3y plus 4 is equal to x. Did I confuse anybody? Did I confuse anybody?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
No.
All right. And if somebody is confused, let me show you something, right? Let me show you something. 7, I could write 7 as 1 plus 6. I could also write that as 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. I didn't change anything, right? So all I did was I just flipped the left-hand side with the right-hand side. I just exchanged them. Nothing is wrong with that. It's completely valid. Right. So I want to find for y. Yeah, so Ria, Anna, Desron, Sky, Joshua, everybody, right? I want to find for y. So if I want to find for y, and y should be the only thing on this side, on the left-hand side, and y should be the only thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't know why. But the cable giving some trouble. I don't know why. Okay. Are you seeing the screen, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes, sir.
Y should be the only thing on the left-hand side. It shouldn't have anything, right? Other than y. Now here what? What I think is the first thing I should do? Divide by 3 or move across the positive 4? What do you think I should do? Do you all think I should divide by 3 or minus 4? What do you all think I should do first?
Move across the ball.
I should move across the 4, right? I should move across the 4. Ria, are you confused by why I'm going to move across the 4 first?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. You're probably wondering, well, why I can't divide by 3 first? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, if you divide by 3, you need to do it everywhere, right? So if you divide by 3 everywhere, you're going to end up with this.
Ah.
Well, we can still solve for this, eh? But it's going to be a lot more complicated. This is still valid, but it's going to be a little more complicated. So the easier thing to do would be to move across. It's like a standard procedure, but if you did divide everything by 3, you wouldn't be wrong. You would just end up with y plus 4 over 3 is equal to x over 3. And then you would move across the 4 over 3. Right? And that would be x over 3 minus 4 over 3. That is correct. That is correct. That's fine. And I could also write that as x minus 4 over 3. That's fine. But the easier thing to do is move across the positive or the negative term first. That's the easier thing to do. So Ria, if I move across the plus 4 on the other side, what would that turn to?
Minus 4.
Right. Don't know why they're not seeing any changes. So I really don't know why it's giving so much trouble.
It's Apple for you, bro.
Yeah, boy. You know, use a real different Apple. Use a real hey boy. It's wrong. I boss your files, eh? But anyways,
I'm on Android, bro.
that's good. All right. So guys, is there anybody confused by what I have so far? Anybody? Anybody confused? Ria?
No.
No? Happy to hear that, Joshua. Ria, are you confused?
Nope.
Okay, Siobhan, I'm not sure if you're still here, but are you confused?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, Ria, I'm very close to my answer, right? I want to find for y. So right now I have 3 multiplied by y. What do you think I should do next? Tell me, Ria.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Let me show you something, right? If you buy Okay, you like doubles?
Yeah.
Okay, I like doubles too. So let me just say eat 5 doubles. How much 5 doubles will cost?
Like 30.
You just say 30, right? So if I say 5D is equal to 30, how you would find for 1 doubles?
You divide 30 by 5.
Okay. How is this any different from this? It's the same thing, you know. The same thing. I guarantee. Same thing. So yeah. Over here, to find for 1 doubles, you divide by 5, right?
Yeah.
Right. So to find for 1y, what you do? What am I saying? It's the same thing. So over here,
Divide.
you're close, Thelma. Thelma.
Divide by 3.
Yeah. Let
Oh,
me share a little reason why we divided by 5 as well. We want to find for 1D, right? You want to find for D. You want to find for Y. So watch this right here. If I divide both sides by 5, and the 5 and the 5 will cancel off there and leave me with D. And I want to find for D.
yeah.
Yeah. I want to find for what over here? So hurry up. What I want to find for?
The audio kind of dipped there. I didn't hear what you said.
I want to find for what over here? What do I want to find for over here?
Why?
Y, right? So to find for Y, I would need to divide both sides by 3. You know why? So that the 3 and 3 will cancel off. So I can leave me with Y.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Watch, and this is the same thing over here. If I tell you buy 5 doubles and it costs $30, and you would divide by 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at the mathematics behind it, you're dividing both sides by 5, right? 5D over 5, and the 5 and the 5 will cancel off to leave you with D.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you dividing by 5. In this example. And over here, well, same concept, you dividing by 3. Still confused?
No, I understand.
All right, nice. That's Ron. We good? That's Ron. Tell me if we okay.
Um,
Nah, that don't sound okay. That don't sound okay.
yeah,
Remember,
good. Good.
so that's Ron. I move across that positive 4. I get x minus 4, right?
Yeah,
I want to find for 1y. So to find for y or 1y, I would divide both sides by 3, so it will cancel off.
yeah.
So y is equal to x minus 4 by 3. Anna, are you confused by that? Are you good?
I could.
Right. Right. So that's Ron. Another way you could think about it, right? Anytime you move across something, the operation has changed. So that's Ron. If I want to move across this 3, right now that 3 multiplying by y. If I move it across the equal sign, that 3 will turn to what? So right now it's 3 multiply. What's the opposite of multiply?
Addition or add.
No. Opposite of a multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplication?
Or division.
Right? So if I move across that 3, I will turn to divide by 3 because right now it's 3 by y, 3 multiplied by y. Move it across the equal sign, I will turn to divide. That's just some different ways you can think about it. Right? And the very last step is to write y as the inverse function. So write y using the inverse notation. All right, so let's run. What was the original function? Tell me, that's wrong. What was the original function?
H x.
H of x, right? H of x.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna write y as h inverse x, and that will be equal to x minus 4 over 3. That's it. That's it. That's literally it. Did I do anything here that real confuse you? Like real bad?
No.
No?
No, sir.
Ria. I feel like if I ask you how confused you are, you mightn't tell me 0. You might still tell me a number between 1 and 10, but is it a low number? But it's still real.
Nah, it's a bit of a high number. Like, if you could explain that last part again, like one more time.
Which last part?
Using y, write y using the inverse notation.
All right. So Ria, the original function was h of x, right? That was the original.
Right.
What we just did was find the inverse function. And so the last step, right? So once you have y, we'll write that using the inverse notation. So the original function was h of x, yeah? H of x. So to write that as the inverse function, I would say h minus 1x. That's what I would say. Right? If you look at the previous example, the original function here was g of x. And so the final answer would be g minus 1x. To show that it's inverse function. That's how you write the inverse function notation. So
Okay.
like Ria, imagine if you had a function e to x, right? E of x. Then the inverse function would be e to the minus 1x. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Nice. Anna, how do you feel about this?
I feeling good.
You sure?
Yeah.
And how would I verify if my answer is correct? What would I do? Do you know?
Yeah, but how to satisfy?
Maybe I could run some test scenarios.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I was going to put it back into, but as a whole different. I don't know whole different topic.
Well, that's okay. Let me come up with some test scenarios, right? So Anna, let me just test the basic functionality of the function. So give me some x values first. Some easy x values that I can plug into the function.
4, 5, and 6.
Okay. Right? Keshava, if I plug 4, 5, and 6 into the function, right? I'll get an x value, I'll get the y values. So Keshava, if I plug x values into the function, enter gonna get a set of y values.
Yes.
Yeah, you see that kind of unsure. Let me show you how that running, right? If we have a function, h of x is 3x plus 4, right? Right, so this will be the set of x values, and this will be the set of y values, right? Right, Keshava? So to get the y value, I would have to plug the x value into the function. So anywhere I see x here, I'm gonna write what? Tell me, Keshava.
So 3?
Nah, I'm gonna write 4. Watch.
Oh, 4.
So x over here is 4. So anywhere you see x over here, you're gonna write 4. So that's gonna be 3 by 4 plus 4. What would that be equal to?
16.
Right? 16. Let me see how bad it is. Do it for 5 now. Do it for 5.
24.
Nah.
Oh, sorry, sir. 19.
19. Do it for 6.
22.
So, Keshava, does this make sense? So, h of x is mapping 4 onto 16, is mapping 5 onto 19, and is mapping 6 onto 22. That confusing you or you understand that?
I understand.
Ria, am I confusing you or do you understand that using the function we went from x to y?
I understand.
Okay, nice. So Ria, if that is what regular functions do, if a regular function does go from x to y, what do you think the inverse function will do? An inverse can also like the opposite.
Yeah.
So what's the opposite of x to y?
Y to X.
Yeah. So for the inverse function, if I put 16, what's supposed to get?
4.
Yeah. If I put 19, what's supposed to get?
5.
If I put in 22, what's supposed to get?
6.
So, Anna, wait to tell me what did we find the inverse function to be? Anna, what was the inverse function?
X take away 4. Jesus Christ, I can't see the rest.
Minus 4 over.
3.
So, Anna, let me test it, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
if I put 16 into that function, what's supposed to get?
16 take away 4 to change to 4.
I treat you when I talk how much times?
Pardon?
Treat you when I talk how much times?
4.
Right, so if you look at the diagram, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because when you put 16, what do you get? Right?
Repeat yourself, please.
When you put in 16, you're seeing that you're supposed to get 4.
Yeah.
Right, so we're correct. Right, Ria.
Yes.
Ria, does it make sense?
Yeah.
So Ria, a regular function is go from x to y. And I'm saying that the inverse function will go from y to x. So if I put 16, bam, I get 4. So Ria, I want you to pick one. I want you to pick one that you want to test. You want to test 19 or 22? Which one you want to?
22.
If I put 22 into the inverse function, what am I supposed to get? According to the diagram, if I put 22 into the inverse function, what am I supposed to get? So remember, the inverse function goes from y to x. So,
19.
nah. So the inverse function would go from y to x. So 22 should give you 6. Right? Let me see if that's true. If I plug 22 into the inverse function, that's going to be 22 minus 4 all over 3. What's 22 minus 4?
18.
What's 18 over 3?
6.
Bam. Does it work?
Yep.
Yeah, it does work. So we are correct. So that's it for inverse function. So for the form 4s, if you have any form 4 student here that do understand how I did this, tell them no. Right, in next class, we will move on to some harder examples for inverse functions. Like I'm gonna put square, I'm gonna put cube. It's gonna be crazy. Right? So form 4 peeps. Are they understand what I do? Let me know, guys. Yvonne, I didn't hear from you in a long time. We were lost, so like we understand.
Understand.
As a matter of fact, do you understand?
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Shina, you real good?
Real good, sir.
Nice. Right. Okay. So people that was in form 4, or they could leave for they want, or they could stay for they want. It's up to all you. Right? But as it for functions, next class we'll move on to harder examples for inverse functions, right? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
right? Have a good night.
Two.
Later,
You too,
sir.
sir.
Right, so form 5 people. Circles. Time to do circles, right? Circles fit. So how much people here do the homework? That's the question. How much are they do the homework? Jada, you got a chance to do the homework?
Yes, I did.
Yeah? Okay. Sensing. Right? All right. So Ria, can I trust that you will look at the previous recordings? Can I trust that?
Yeah.
Yeah? You see that kind of one?
No.
Yeah. You should
Yeah, yeah.
probably look at the previous recordings. It'll clear up any gaps you have. Right? Right. So Jada, sensing. Right, Kadisha, I saw that you did the homework. Big up yourself. Right? You made some mistakes here and there, so we're gonna correct that today, right? Yeah. Kadisha, I'm gonna hear you.
Yes, sir. I heard you.
Okay, nice. So we're gonna correct all the gray areas today. So parts of our circle worksheet, right? These are the notes, and we had a triangle worksheet. Nice. Also, Kadisha, you well draw this thing good, but how come you leave out Ian Allen? It wasn't that skillful. Kadisha, I see you draw
Wait,
it.
sir.
I see you draw it, but you leave out Ian Allen. How come you leave out Ian Allen?
Nah, I can't draw he. He too difficult.
Difficult.
Yeah, he here like going way back and thing. Me never that.
Yeah. You remember the time how we buff up the cameraman?
Yeah.
What if you drawing him and you just hear him in your head saying, "One girl." Yeah. Yes. Until I hear the umbrella one. Or you know the meme going around with Ian Allen and the umbrella.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I tell you, every time you come in, you have to bring an umbrella. Bring an umbrella.
Yes, that's self.
You go feel people, make people feel have a attitude, but have a attitude. We.
Oh, it's a good Ian Allen impersonator, boy. Alright, so let me just stop this recording and I'll start back on your recording for the 4 and 5 session. Right, give me a second.